Thank you. I have three questions. I'm going to omit several of the questions I've answered. I'll give you the list. Perhaps of my dozen or so questions, most of these are technical questions. I have one comment, and again, this was about the question on the mapping. It was stated in, back again, the item number 1, apparently it's on GS 130D11C, about the site shall be accessible to the interstate highway by a highway having not less than 2 lanes instructions, 4 lanes. I want to make it absolutely clear, we have it on the map and everything, you can take a jump to the north of the county, but we have no 4-lane highways beyond Ellerbe in the north end of the county. We do not meet the very first of this criteria. My next question is much more technical. On an incinerator, on the air scrubbers, the electrical ones, not the physical or mechanical scrubbers, if those scrubbers malfunction on this incinerator, does that shut down automatically?
Yes, it does.
Okay, who monitors that?
Who monitors the shutdown?
Yes.
It is automatic, and the operator who's in charge at the time would be monitoring it.
Okay.
If you have believe me, and I'm sincere, if you know of propose a better way of monitoring that, we would be glad to hear it.
And the next question on that is, if there is a release of some sort, who notifies the public in the case of a release? Should there be an accidental release? If something does go wrong?
Right, Darryl, let me refer that question to you, would you?
The operator is required by law to notify the county emergency management personnel, any kind of emergency response personnel that would be required to come to the event, and then they would also be required to notify the EPA, the state.
This county belongs to us, and we got to find a way to defeat all of it. I mean, nothing against you as people, but it's not fair for you to bring it to us when we don't produce it, and we're the biggest majority of people in the county that don't want it. It shouldn't be brought to us. And I'd like to say to the people of Richmond County, please don't sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. Every one of us counts. Please come out, please write letters, call the governor, do whatever you can do. Don't wait for somebody else to do it because it involves you just as much as it does me. Thank you.
Don Hagel, I believe, is the next name on my list. Is that correct?
Hagler.
I'm sorry.
Hagler, I'm with Care for Union. I'm from Union County, but this concerns us too. One of the questions is, I was wondering if some of the public forums could be held closer to the counties that's already involved in the low-level radioactive siting. I know we have it here in Richmond, but Union would also like, the chance to voice their opinions and have it closer. And the other sightings are going to be, if there's any way that we could have it for them too, in Union. And also, we were told in Raleigh that it's very likely that both dumps, the low-level radioactive waste and also the hazardous waste, could be at the same site. And we just want to have some assurance that this will not happen. Could you give us an answer on that?
The commission has talked about this. No decision has been made on this one way or the other. But we are aware of it. We are aware of the problems of having the two facilities in the same area or on the same site. But no decision has been made by the commission at this time. All decisions made by the commission, however, are made in public. So they are made in our meetings, and they are open to all public positions, whether they're for or against. We respect your opinion, and if you tell us tonight you don't want the two of them in the same place, we will hear you.
We don't want the two in the same place.
Thank you.
actually, we don't want either of them in the same place. Earlier they were mentioned about, the swine industry, the row crops, and poultry and all this. Well, Union County is the largest turkey growing industry in the United States, possibly the world, and that should be taken into consideration, plus the farmers. And I'm one of the landowners where the site's going to be in Union County. And the land itself has been checked, and one of the criteria is that the water level has to be below 7 feet below ground level. And the places that we've checked, we've had a geologist come out, Jim Wellman, and I went out and checked them. And some of them are as little as 3 inches from the ground surface. And nearly 80% of them are above 7 feet. Plus there's fractured rocks where if it leaks, it's going to go everywhere. So this should take us off, now. But I know we're still in it. I was wondering if there's any way that the process, or if y'all using the same process as the low-level radioactive waste, if y'all using the same maps that they use.
We are not. We're generating our own maps.
Okay, thanks. That's basically what also, I'd just like to reiterate that we definitely do not want these sites in Union County, Richmond County, or North Carolina.
The next person on my list is Ann Mercer.
Waste incinerator. In fact, I have here say that we do have very few hazardous waste generators in Richmond County, way less than 1% of the state's total. What then is the justification and logic of putting or even considering a hazardous waste site here? If we're not producing
Richmond County will not even will be excluded. I can't tell you tonight that it will be, because until we are finished with the rulemaking, we will not know.
But it doesn't even fit the first rule. How can you say we're not excluded when it doesn't even fit your first rule about the highway? You've already made the rule, it doesn't fit the first rule.
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand.
About being in a certain distance from the highway, from an interstate. It's already been made mention, it doesn't fit.
The 60 miles from the interstate?
Double lane access.
Oh, the double lane access. Bill, would you go through that again, please?
Let me ask a question. We know that our area is virtually at the maximum distance from interstate. No roads running a straight line from these thoroughfares. 60 miles traveling at approximately 1 hour's driving time is both unrealistic and very, very dangerous, considering also the distance that we're away from interstate. And now, you may go back to your criteria, whatever.
Okay, the state law requires that a
corporation builds it, then what happens?
I said that a private venture can build a facility anywhere that they want to and are not required to meet our siting criteria.
Then whose criteria are they designed to meet then? Their own?
They have to meet the regulatory criteria and the legal criteria.
All right, now, what's a permanent procedure? If this person comes before you, it's a private corporation.
We have no authority over permits. We do not issue them. In fact, this commission will have to go through the regular permitting process and apply for a permit just as any private company would.
All right, well, who will then, so what would be the point of your commission then if a private corporation comes forward and says, look, we built an incinerator on some property up near Ellaby, all we need now is a permit and we're in business, is that correct?
In the statute that created this commission, the General Assembly was very careful to say that they would prefer to have a private operator carry out this duty in North Carolina.
Right.
And if that were the case, this commission would no longer be necessary and would be dissolved.
All right, so all of this is basically nothing.
No.
What is it?
The General Assembly and the governor and members of this commission who are ordinary General Assembly would dissolve this commission.
All right. From the map, from what I understand, what is it, 70%, is that correct? 70% of the state is still eligible by your standards to house an incinerator?
By the first set of criteria, yes.
What is it by the second set of criteria? How many is still eligible?
No maps have been made yet because the rules have not become permanent. We're still in the comment period.
All right, let me just ask people tonight, how many of you people think your input tonight changed their rules?
No, no, no.
I'd like to know when the last input did change the rules.
I'd like to know when you're gonna finish writing the rule book, so we'll know what we're playing about.
Let me ask, do you know John Engelgert, is that it? Engelgert of Anderon Group, based in Raleigh, Durham, or F. Norwood Thompson? Do you or anyone you know this gentleman?
I do not know them.
Have you ever met them?
To my knowledge, I've never
Have you ever heard of them?
No, sir.
You mean you talked earlier tonight about option being located in Ellerby, and you did not even bother to find out the gentleman that signed that option agreement?
I didn't even know that such an agreement had been signed.
Well, here's a Xerox copy of it right here. Tell me this, when was there a meeting between contractors or real estate developers? What day did that happen? Please state that, Mary. All right, so after that meeting on the 21st, these people then signed an option December 28th, right? 1 week. What was discussed at that meeting that you're not discussing with us tonight?
The meeting we're talking about was a pre-bid meeting.
Yes, exactly.
For companies that might want to operate this facility once we have a site.
Fine.
There were over 60 people there. There was, it was an open meeting. We had press there. We have a record of the minutes. If you'd like to have it.
No, I'd like a little honesty, a little understanding. I think it seems kind of odd to us that you can show us a map with such a majority of North Carolina still under consideration, and then 7 days after this meeting, all of a sudden they're signing land options right up the road here. It just does not make sense.
I'm sorry, but I don't understand the land option. This is the first I've heard.
I'm sorry. It's been covered in a nice local paper. It was in Lafayette, and I promise you we'll be happy to give you a copy because we very much want you to understand. Believe me, it seems like we're very suspicious, Dorothy, let me put it that way. We are very suspicious of this process. Now, Al, back to you. Would you tell me, please, what was discussed at that meeting that could possibly give somebody the incentive to go out, shell out some cash, to tie up property for a hazardous waste incinerator that you're not telling us tonight?
I'll try to tell you what, there was a 3-hour meeting. What we told them was what they would have to do to be eligible to bid for the operation of this facility. We told them what kind of liability insurance they would have to have, that they would have to give us a 10-year history of all violations of environmental or health nature. They would have to divulge to us all of their subsidiaries and the managers and the addresses of all of those subsidiaries. In other words, this is not our requirement, this is really a state requirement, that they have to divulge all of their financial and environmental violations before they can bid before we would allow them to bid on this facility. It was a long meeting. There were a lot of questions, and as I say, the agenda is available. If we read it,
The agenda or the minutes? What's the best?
both are available. Both are available. Of course they are. We're a public commission.
How long would it take to get them?
Let me ask, how long would it take to get them?
Why didn't you tell us about it to start with?
You and Governor Martin has given these people the right to go in any county in the state of North Carolina and build what they want to if they've got the money.
That's right.
I'm sorry you feel that way, sir, because we have no legal power or authority. We can't pass laws. We cannot break laws. I'm sorry. You can look at the statute and see what our authority is. We're a public commission. We have no authority to do any of these things that you're accusing us of. These are powers that are only embodied in the General Assembly. And we exist because the General Assembly created us. Obviously, the General Assembly can destroy us too. They can say, hey, go home, anytime they want to. We have no legal authority. We have no permitting authority, no regulatory authority at all. And I'm telling you, you can look in the patches and see. Do we get paid? No. I get paid for my mileage when I drive up here. I get no other pay. I'm sorry, please continue.
Well, no, that basically sums it up. I mean, to go through a very long evening tonight, people had to leave, this thing is drug on. Mayor?
David, would you allow me to come and just, I certainly understand the frustration that you all feel, having experienced a lot of this in the last 6 years. This particular situation about where is the option? Please tell me exactly where it is.
It's near Ellaby, near the Norman line. I believe it goes also in Montgomery County.
Okay, on the Montgomery, Richmond County line.
I'm sorry, there are two different options. As I understand it, one for 700 acres and one for 1,600 acres, I want to say.
This commission, in trying to, we have sort of a twofold thing, is to find someone to operate the facility and to find a place to have it. Both of those are in the law that created the facility. After they had what they call a pre-bid conference in which anybody interested in building a facility could come and find it. Believe me, I am not trying. I'm talking just as straight as I possibly can.
There's one that can find a way in this world and die and go to hell.
Billy Elmore.
Let me just say to the audience that of all of this meeting, this is the one lady that I trust.
Me too.
I thank you. You should there.
This is that tape of the Hazardous Waste Management Commission hearing that I promised I'd send you. Sorry for the delay. This was the hearing held in Rockingham Courthouse in Richmond County on January the 4th of this year. It starts with your testimony. You were the first one of the people to sign up for the second part of the hearings. For no particular reason, I put that on first, and you started out the hearing on that day. I dug out some of the earlier parts of the hearing, which were people who confined their comments more or less to the rules themselves.